exhortation, definition, an address or communication, emphatically urging someone to do something, and we urging our brothers and sisters. Keep the good exhortation, gotta be patient. Yeah, it's time to free the nation, gotta stop hating. This the end of the world, about to leave it vacant. Better hurry up and pick a side, yeah, I was shy Satan. Hey, just let me exhort you. Hey, just let me exhort you. Yeah, I'm here to exhort, make you put out that new port. I can remember back then we caught the short. Now we teaching indoor, teaching outside indoors, teaching on dry lands, teaching out on the shores. Do whatever we can, keep our brothers out of court. Teach it in the dirty south, and we teach it up north, then we teach it out west, even the east coast shores. You gotta bring that fire, dealing with them Brooklyn boys. Take it to the south of the border, dealing with them Ricans. We gotta bring it out, can hardly tell what they speaking. You the northern.
Shalom, 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 and welcome back to another Wednesday night exhortation. I am the messenger, your bro Zachariah Israel, aka Dstm. We're about to get it in. It's this saying going around on social media. All right, and I seen it like on TikTok, and a couple other more places. And they doing this, we listen, we don't judge. Right? So I said, let's see what the Bible say about that. Right? Let's see what the Most High God say about judgment. So this lesson is entitled, We Listen, We Judge. We listen, we judge. All right? Because the world's going to judge you. All right? That's when you just out here in public places, you're going to get judged. You're going to get judged in the workforce. You're going to get judged in the educational system. You're going to get judged in the judicial system with the courtrooms and the criminal justice. And the whole world revolves off of judgment. All right? And last but definitely not least, the Most High God is going to judge you. All right? He's going to get that final judgment. All right? Through his son, the Christ, the Messiah, the black Messiah, Yahweh Shai. Okay? So a lot of people get these things mixed up with on how we judge our people. Okay? They thinking it's just, like, condemnation or, since we said it, that's it for you. No, it's different meanings of judging. We are going to pull that as well. But first, if this is your first night to Wednesday night exhortation, give me 2 Timothy 4 verse 2. We're going to explain why we call this Wednesday night exhortation. You got it? Read it.
2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 2. Preach the word. Be instant, in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke.
Rebuke. That's another form of judging. All right. We're going to bring that out. You can rebuke your brother and your sister. You can correct them. That's judging them. All right. Read.
Exhort,
meaning to push, strongly urge, to motivate, to encourage your brothers and sisters to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? Continue.
With all long suffering and doctrine.
We're going to long suffer with our brothers and our sisters. All right? So let me get that thumbnail real quick. We listen, we judge. We listen, we judge. All right, because I don't understand why people think society don't judge you. Now, there's ways you judge people. All right, we're gonna bring that out. Okay, but you are being judged. All right, 24/7. And of course, I got to make this a couple parts because as I'm thinking, more scriptures are coming back to me. All right. As I'm thinking about it, I'm going to make this a couple parts, right? Give me John 5 and verse 30. You got it. Read it.
John chapter 5, verse 30. I can of my own self do nothing.
Read.
As I hear, I judge.
As I hear, I do what?
I judge.
I judge. So this is the Messiah speaking right here, right? He judged. All right. Read.
And my judgment is just.
And his judgment is just. So in the flesh, right, he judged. Of course, he was perfect. So he had all reason and all power to judge, especially if you're not judging as the hypocrite, right? We're going to bring that out. Read.
Because I seek not my own will.
Because I seek not my own will. Read.
But the will of the Father which hath sent me.
So that's how you want to judge. You want to judge according to the will of the Father. All right. And his will is his law, statutes, and commandments. His will is his truth, his judgment. Thy law is thy will. You understand? So if you judge, you got to judge according to the scriptures when you're dealing with your brothers and sisters. Not on just how they look or how they smell or how big they are, how small they are. You got to judge righteous judgment. We're going to bring that out. We're going to bring that out, right? Give me Ezekiel 3, verse 17. You got it. Read it. Is that where you was at? Oh, okay. Well, give me Ecclesiasticus 6 and verse 7.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
If you going to get you a friend, prove him first. How you prove a friend? By judging him. By judging him. That's how you prove him. All right. You're going to judge everything about him. His characteristics. All right. His personality. All right. Even his hygiene and stuff, man. You're going to say, hey, bro, in love, man, you know, you a little musty. Or, hey, sis, you know, you all right? You need some feminine products. You know, the sisters deal with the sisters. Hey, you need some Bath and Body Works. You know, you need some oils and you know, what's going on with you? Right? What can I help you with? Right? Continue.
And be not hasty to credit him.
Don't be so quick to credit him. Don't be so quick to judge him. Right? That's all that's going into. Don't be so quick to judge him saying, hey, man, this is a good brother. Or, hey, man, this is a bad brother. Don't be so quick in your judgment. Okay? Don't be so quick into crediting him. Saying, hey, man, it's all good. He all gravy. So we judge. When you get a friend, you're going to want to make sure he all right. Right? Give me Ezekiel 3:17. You got it. Read it.
Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
Read.
Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
Give them warning. Warning. That's another definition of judge. Okay, that's another synonym for judge. Warning. Right, I'm gonna get the definition when we get through with these few scriptures, right? So give them warning, right? Read.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way.
When you don't speak to warn the wicked from his wicked way, when you don't give them warning, you give them that judgment saying, hey, don't do that, bruh. That's a bad move. That's bad judgment. Right? I'm warning you. Because thus said the Lord. I'm a watchman. I got to warn you. If you move this way, that's bad judgment. That's a bad judgment call. People confuse judgment with condemnation. Just because we warn you or rebuke you or correct you, right? That doesn't mean we condemning you. Right? Read.
To save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
So if we don't warn the wicked, the blood gonna be on our hands. We got to warn the wicked, right? Read.
Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
So if we tell him and he don't turn from his wicked way, we give him that correct judgment, right? And he don't turn from his wicked way, he's going to die, but you have delivered your soul. Right? Read.
Again, when a righteous man doth turn from his righteousness and commit iniquity, and I lay a stumbling block before him, he shall die. Because thou hast not given him warning, he shall die in his sin, and his righteousness which he hath done shall not be remembered.
Read.
But his blood will I require at thine hand.
So if we don't warn the wicked, right, the blood's going to be on our hand. That's point blank and period. If we don't warn them, we don't give them that prejudgment. All right, read.
Nevertheless, if thou warn the righteous man that the righteous sin not, and he doth not sin,
read.
He shall surely live.
He's going to live. Read.
Because he is warned.
He is warned. He been warned. He been judged accordingly, according to the scriptures. Right? He's been warned. We didn't gave him that righteous judgment, and we correct him. Right? Read.
Also, thou hast delivered thy soul.
You're going to deliver your soul when you correct your brother and warn your brother and judge your brother. Right? Let me get that definition real quick of judge. The Bible definition of judge. I'm going to pull it. Where we at? Where we at? Here we go. The word judge in the Bible has multiple meanings. Multiple meanings. Okay? All right? In Matthew 7:1, Jesus uses judge as a synonym for condemn, to warn against being judgmental of others. Right? Jesus is saying that people should start by judging themselves and repenting before judging others. So we're going to pull that, that's going into the hypocrite. Right? So its judgment is used for what? The word condemn. We're going to pull that definition too. All right. Judge is also used. Judge can also mean to separate, pick out, select, or choose. So that's another form of judging. Separate, that's judging. Pick out, that's judging. Select or choose, so that's judging. So it's up to me to separate myself from you. Pick out, select, or choose. Select a friend, choose a friend, prove a friend. That's going into those meanings. All right. So, judge got multiple meanings. Okay. Judge can also mean to compare facts or ideas to distinguish truth from falsehood. So that's going into teaching, judging, rebuking, correcting. You understand? Because it compares facts or ideas to distinguish truth from falsehood. So if you are here living in sin, wickedness, whoredom, idolatry, right? You're not following the dietary laws. You're dealing with all kind of paganism. right? You lying, right? You stealing, right? You dishonoring your parents. Yes, I can judge you. Yes, we can judge you. Right? Let me reread it again. Judge can also mean to compare facts or ideas to distinguish truth from falsehood. So if you're saying, hey, I can disrespect my parents, and I said, no, you're not, according to the scriptures, right? You can't. I just passed judgment on you. Righteous judgment. From what's true and what's false. True from falsehood. All right. Judge. Here's another one. Judge can also mean to form an opinion or to bring to issue the reasoning of the mind. So that's another thing, right? When you opinionated and, bring to an issue and reasoning of mind, but you still got to refer back to the commandments because you can't come up with your own things in your own mind. And if you're not speaking the oracles and you can't back it up with the word of God. All right. So, and it goes off into some other things. I just wanted to pull the main ones. You understand? All right. Let's go back. All praises. Right? Because some would say, hey, man, you judge. Hey, you can't judge. Oh. Yes, you can if you're doing it the right way. You understand? Was that all? And where you at now? Okay. Matthew 7. Okay. Matthew chapter 7, start at verse 1. You got it. Read it.
Matthew chapter 7, verse 1. Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again.
So you judge not unless you're going to be judged. Right? Don't judge people unless you want to be judged. And it's going to go into the reasoning of it. Because I know some of you saying, see, bro, there it go right there. You can't judge. I told you. We told you, bro. We told you can't judge. It's going to give you the reason. You got to keep reading. Keep going.
And why beholdest thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considerest not the beam that is in thy own eye?
So why you looking at the mote, the little bit of stuff wrong with your brother, and you got a whole beam in your eye? A whole wooden log in your eye. But you want to call out the little bit of things that your brothers got going on, right? Read.
Or how wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull out the mote of thy own eye?
Let me judge you about the little piece of mote that's in your eye, right? Read.
And behold, a beam is in thy own eye.
But there's a big old beam in your eye that you not worked on yourself. You a hypocrite. And we're going to read that. Continue.
Thou hypocrite.
Thou what?
Thou hypocrite.
Thy hypocrite. Read.
First cast out the beam out of thy own eye.
Man, you got to get that beam out your own eye. Right? Read.
And then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye.
Then you can get that little bit of problem. You can correct your brother. So when you going into judging and thou, judging your brother, right? It's going into the hypocrite. Don't judge as a hypocrite. When Christ was in the flesh, he judged according to the scriptures. He didn't judge as a hypocrite like the Pharisees. Okay? So that's the problem. That's what a lot of, Christians do. They like, oh, brother, hey, we listen, we don't judge. I could say, hey, man, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a rapist, I'm a murderer, I'm this. We listen, we don't judge. Hey, I did this. We listen, we don't judge. That's a lie. Because if you said you didn't did all that, you're not coming in my house. You not coming in my house. You think I'm gonna let you around my daughters, man? You out your mind. Yes, we judge. You could be a pedophile that just got out of prison. They gonna put a thing out on you, man. It's gonna be in the newspaper. Hey, you got you a sex offender that's 1,000 feet from you or a mile from you or whatever. They gonna let you know, cause why? They listen, they judge. You understand? Let's continue. Give me John 7:24.
John chapter 7 verse 24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment.
So, yes, you're not just supposed to look at your brother and then despise your brother or sister because what they might be wearing, or despise your brother and sister because, you know, they ain't got on designer, right? You supposed to judge righteous judgment. That ain't the only thing you supposed to go off of. They could be the nicest brother or sister, right? And the brother or sister that got on designer could be the most wickedest person in the world. But you showing respect to person in your judgment. You see what I'm saying? You're not supposed to do that, right? Like that's the only thing you going by. That's not right according to the scriptures. Give me 1 Timothy 2:9.
1 Timothy chapter 2 and 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair, or gold, or pearls, or costly array.
Or costly array. So when you this a commandment for the sisters to wear modest apparel, right? With shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. That's going into that designer. That's going into the bling bling. That's going into what you wearing. And people judging you based off of that. You're supposed to be modest, of course, but you ain't got to have on designer all the time. If you want to wear a little designer, that's okay, but it shouldn't just be about that, right? Give me verse 10. Give me verse 10. 1 Timothy 2 and 10. I wanted to get that one too. Yeah, so that's what happens. Give me that read.
But which becometh women for professing godliness with good works.
That's what you need to worry about, your good works, not just your outwardly. Don't worry about, hey, I got on the best clothes, so I ain't gotta be righteous. I ain't gotta be godly. You understand? Give me Deuteronomy 22, verse 5. We listen, we judge.
Deuteronomy
You
chapter
understand?
22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
Stop. Start from the top again.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
So you can't cross dress. Why? We listen, we judge. We see, we judge. So you can't. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man. You sisters out here dressing like men in pants and you know, want to wear all this manly stuff, putting that man spirit on you, right? Read.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. So a man can't wear a dress. You know why? We listen, we judge. We see. So we see a man walking around with a dress on, what we gonna say? You might not say it verbally, but you gonna say, that brother from that community over there. That's what you gonna see and say. You see a sister in pants, especially skin tight pants. You gonna be like, that sister trying to show off her, her goods. She trying to make that thing poke out. We judging. You see a sister in pants and she should have on a dress or a skirt. We gonna say, wonder who wearing the pants in that house. You judging. Right? That's a whole nother different lesson right there, though. A lot of y'all sisters y'all ain't ready for that. You see why grandma wasn't wearing pants. You see why all our our grands and great grands. I'm talking about the original great grands and grandmothers. I ain't talking about these young grandmothers and stuff that want to dress like little thoughts. That's a whole nother different lesson, right? Continue.
For all that do so are abomination to the Lord thy God.
That's judgment. That's an abomination. That's condemnation. So when you cross dress, that's the judgment you're gonna get in the end. And I can't pass that judgment down to you. That's that next level judgment. That's condemnation. That's that final judgment. So you better take the warning, the prejudgment before the final judgment. Give me Zephaniah. No. Give me Ecclesiasticus 19:29. You got it? Read it.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 29. A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance.
So a man is being judged by his looks. He's known by his looks. He being judged by his looks. Right? Read.
When thou meetest him.
When thou meetest him. So when you going on that interview, if you dress right, you got your, decent clothes on, a decent polo or some nice slacks or, a little two-piece. They're going to say, okay, this guy right here, he's coming for business. He mean business. All right? He's known by his look. But if you come in there with your pants sagging all off of your behind, you understand, you ain't got no haircut, you are not groomed, 9 times out of 10, almost 10 times out of 10, you're not going to get that job. You know why? We listen, we judge. We listen, we judge. Now, you could be the smartest person in the room, right? Because the scriptures say it shouldn't just be outwardly, but you got to use some common sense. You got to use some discernment. You're not finna go up in there, stank, pants falling all off your behind, but you got a high IQ, right? And you got all the degrees in the world and think you gonna get the job over the person that's got a better presentation than you. You know why? We listen, we judge. You understand? That's how the world's gonna treat you. That's how the world's gonna treat you. That's our condition right now. You understand? Give me Zephaniah 1:8. This is the judgment this is the ultimate judgment for not being dressed correctly outwardly. Right? Read.
Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes.
So when the Lord come back and get this world in order through nuclear fire and destroy this place, right? That I will punish the princes, read.
And the king's children.
That's us. That's that condemnation. That's that final judgment. Read.
And all such as are clothed with strange apparel.
When you got on strange apparel, you know why? We listen, we judge. You understand? So if you ain't ready and you ain't dressed right, you out here and you cross dressing and you effeminate and you wearing dresses and you sisters out here got that man spirit on you and you wearing pants and you wanna be hardcore and got that manly spirit on you, you gonna be judged. That's just what it is. That's what it is. Right? Give me Romans chapter 2, start at verse 1.
Romans chapter 2, verse 1. Therefore, thou art inexcusable, O man, whosoever thou art that judges, for wherein thou judgest another.
Okay, start from the top again.
Therefore, thou art inexcusable, O man, Whosoever thou art that judgest, for wherein thou judgest another,
Read.
thou condemnest thyself.
You condemnest thyself when you judges another and you're not judging righteous judgment. You condemn yourself. You understand? I'm going to read it from the top. Therefore, thou art inexcusable, O man, whosoever thou art that judgest. For wherein thou judgest another, thou condemnest thyself. Read.
For thou that judgest doest the same thing.
That's going into the hypocrite, because you doing the same thing. So when you judging somebody and you doing the same thing, you condemning yourself. That's that condemnation. You're going to get that condemnation because you judging as a hypocrite. We read that in Matthew 7. You understand? Continue.
But we are sure that the judgment of God is according to the truth against them which commit such things.
Reread that again.
Verse 2. But we are sure that the judgment of God is according to truth.
According to truth. Right? Read.
Against them which commit such things.
Read.
And thinkest thou this, O man, that judgest them which do such things?
Read.
And doest the same.
You doing the same. You a hypocrite. Read.
That thou shalt escape the judgment of God.
You ain't gonna escape the judgment from God and you doing the same thing. You're gonna be condemned. You're gonna be condemned. Let me get that definition real quick. Y'all confusing judgment with condemnation, right? Okay, in the Bible, condemn means to find someone guilty and assume punishment. All right? You finding somebody guilty and assuming punishment. That's what you want. It can also mean to declare someone guilty without legal procedure, to make someone suffer as if they are guilty. That's condemning somebody. Okay? To banish someone to hell for being disobedient to God. Let me read it from the top again. To banish someone to hell for disobeying God. That's condemning. You banning them. You putting them in hell. You condemning them. You're not saying, hey, man, brother, repent. You're not giving them that warning, right? That prejudgment to correct them, to rebuke them, right? You just want to condemn somebody. A lot of you brothers and sisters got that condemnation spirit. That's what you got. Okay. It also means the state of being condemned. The reason for a sentence of condemnation. So that's going into, a few meanings of what condemnation or condemn is. Right? So we shouldn't do that when we judge. You want to condemn somebody. All right? Give me Luke 6:37.
Luke chapter 6, verse 37. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not.
Do what?
Condemn not.
Condemn not. Read.
And ye shall not be condemned.
You ain't going to be condemned. Read.
Forgive.
Forgive.
And ye shall be forgiven.
And you going to be forgiven. So when you judge, don't judge as a hypocrite. And ye shall not be judged. Because we just went over why when you judging, don't be as a hypocrite. So if I say, hey, bro, stop smoking. I can't be somewhere smoking. I'm passing judgment on you and I'm doing the same thing. So you can judge, you just can't judge as a hypocrite. You understand? You got to get the Bible don't contradict itself. You got to get the understanding on what you can and can't do. Because if one passage is say you can't judge and another passage says you can, you got to get the understanding. You got to know how to judge. You understand? Give me Ephesians 4:29.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying.
To edifying, correcting, to judging. It's going off into that again. So, hey, you calling each other names and going behind each other back and talking about each other and stuff. Oh, man. Oh, you see so-and-so? She fat as hell. Woo-dee-woo-dee-woo-dee-woo. And if you're not using it for a teaching matter and you ain't saying, hey, sis, yeah, man, you need to pull back away from that table. Or hey, bro, man, you need to pull back away from that table. What you doing? What's your diet like? Help brothers and sisters. Just don't be wicked. You understand? Continue.
That it may minister grace unto the hearers.
That it may minister grace unto the hearers. That's what you want. Right? You want to minister grace to the hearers. You want to help them. All right? Not just talk about them. Give me Exodus chapter 18, verse 13. All right? You got it? Read it.
The book of Exodus, chapter 18, verse 13. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people.
Moses sat to judge the people. Thought you said you can't judge. Moses sat to judge the people, right? Read.
And the people stood by Moses from the morning until the evening.
Read.
And when Moses' father-in-law saw all that he did to the people, he said, what is this thing that thou doest to the people?
Read.
Why sittest thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning until evening?
So why all these people around you from morning to evening? Why you sitting alone? Right? Read.
And Moses said unto his father-in-law, because the people come unto me to inquire of God.
They want to know about God. That's why they come to me. Right? That's what Moses was saying. Right? Read.
When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another.
I do what?
I judge between one and another.
He judged between one and another. Not condemn, but he judges, right? Read.
And I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws.
And he tell them about the statutes of God in his laws. Now, when they wasn't doing right in Moses' time, hey, he judged. And when he passed that judgment, the Most High will have them, whatever they did. There's a lot of people died out there with Moses. A lot of our brothers and sisters died. From out there being disobedient. We didn't have all that grace and mercy back then. You did something. Okay. And Moses told you to do something that the Lord told him to tell you to do, and you didn't do it. You got that judgment. Your head came off, you was swallowed up by the earth, or you roamed around for 40 years in the wilderness. You understand? A whole lot of things was happening to us. Right? Continue.
And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, the thing that thou doest is not good.
Read.
Verse 18. Thou wilt surely wear away, both thou and this people that is with thee.
So you going to worry yourself, man, when you doing this, because you taking up all this burden yourself. You trying to judge all these people, right? Read.
For this thing is too heavy for thee.
It's too heavy for you to judge all these people, Moses. Right? Read.
Thou art not able to perform it thyself alone.
You can't do it alone. Read.
Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee.
God gonna be with you, right? Read.
Be thou for the people of Godward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God.
Be thou, read that for me again.
Be thou for the people to Godward.
Read.
That thou mayest bring the causes unto God.
Read.
And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws.
They're gonna teach them the laws and ordinance, right? Read.
And shall show them the way wherein they must walk.
Moses is gonna show them the way they should walk, right? Read.
And the work that they must do.
You gotta do the work. Right? Read.
Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God,
You got to get men that fear God. You understand? Read.
men of truth, hating covetousness,
Hating covetousness. Read.
and place such over them to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens.
So Moses set up men of thousands to be rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens, right? Verse 22.
And let them judge the people at all.
Let them do what?
And let them judge the people at all seasons.
Let them judge the people. Judge the people. Right? So Moses wasn't the only judge. He set up leaders to judge thousands, hundreds, fifties, and tens. You understand? Continue.
And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge.
Stop. Every small matter they shall judge. So all these small matters, yes, we can judge. We can judge. You understand? We can judge it. We can pass the judgment on these small matters. Right? Read.
So shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee.
Okay, burden with the okay, at the end of 22. So yes, all the small things you should be able to judge. In righteousness. Okay? We didn't take it all to one person. You can say, hey, brother, being the prophets out here, doing the work, getting yourself built up, you should be able to judge a matter according to the scripture. You understand? Continue.
If thou shalt do this thing, and God command thee so, then shalt thou be able to endure. All this people shall also go to their place in peace.
In peace. Give me verse 24.
So Moses hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he had said.
Read.
And Moses chose able men out of all Israel.
Out of all Israel. Read with a little bit more authority. Read.
And Moses chose able men out of all Israel.
Read.
And made them heads over the people.
Made them judge over the people. Read.
Rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, rulers of tens.
And rulers of 10. Read.
And they judged the people.
They did what?
And they judged the people.
They did what?
And they judged the people.
And they judged the people. Read.
At all seasons.
Read.
The hard causes they brought unto Moses, but every small matter they judged themselves.
They did what?
They judged themselves.
They judged themselves. We listen, we judge. Stop telling people. Don't let nobody tell you, man, you can't judge. You can judge. You can judge these small matters. Okay? Now, big cases in courts and stuff like that, it's a judicial system, right? That they got set up here. You do something, man, you go off and you do something crazy. Hey, that's between you and the Lord. Nah, you didn't did it. All right. Then you got the laws of the land. They gonna get you. So you being judged all times, guys. All times. Give me Romans chapter 14, verse 1. You got to read it.
Romans chapter 14, verse 1. Him that is weak in the faith receive ye, but not to doubtful disputations.
Disputations. Read.
For one believeth that he may eat all things.
Read.
Another, who is weak, eateth herbs.
So one say, hey, man, you can eat all things, meaning the things that's you can't eat that's clean according to Leviticus 11. A lot of y'all, that just said, man, we can eat all things. No. The things that's clean, that's edible to eat. Right? Read.
Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not,
Let not him that eateth despise him that eateth not. Read.
and let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth.
So don't let and let and let not him which eateth not judge him that eateth. So you ain't supposed to judge your brother and sister that one might be eating herbs and one might be eating meat. You got a lot of that going on. You know, hey, you should just do straight herbs. Right? You should be on this diet. You should do the Savvy diet. There are a lot of people judging you. You should be fruitarian. You should be vegetarian. You should be pescatarian. You should, you're not supposed to do that. Right? That's being judgmental. That's not righteous judgment. You understand? Read.
For God hath received him.
For God hath received him. I like that one. Give me James chapter 4. You got to read it.
James chapter 4, verse 11.
Verse 11. Yep. Give me that one.
Speak not evil one of another, brethren.
Read.
He that speaketh evil of his brother and judgeth his brother speaketh evil of the law and judgeth the law.
So when you speak of evil of your brother in a hypocritical way, right? You just speaking evil of them. You're not helping them. You're not doing anything to help them. And you being a hypocrite, right? Read.
But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge.
But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge. That means you're not keeping the commandments. You just trying to be a judge. You're not a doer of the law, right? Because you supposed to love thy brother, love thy neighbor, and suffer sin not upon him. So you speaking evil, you just being a judge. You're not a doer of the law, right? Read.
There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judgest another?
So who are you to judge as another? And you not and you evil. You're not passing righteous judgment. You understand? Don't do that. Don't do that. We listen, we judge. But when we judge, we gotta judge according to the scriptures, righteous judgment. Give me Titus chapter 3. Start at verse 2. You got to read it.
The book of Titus, chapter 3, verse 2. To speak evil of no man, to be no brawlers, but gentle, showing all meekness unto all men.
Read.
For we ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving
Diverse lusts.
diverse lusts
Read.
and pleasures, living in malice and envy.
That's all judgment. When you're doing all them things, that is judgment. You are being judged. Right? Read.
Hateful.
Read.
And hating one another.
And hating one another. Read.
But after that, the kindness and love of God, our Savior, toward man appeared.
All praises. So you can't be like that. That's judgment being passed on you. All right? When you're speaking evil, you doing all these things, you being disobedient, those are judgments passed on you. Right? That spiritual judgment being passed, that's your personality. That's your attitude. We judge that too. It ain't just physical, it's spiritual judgment. Right? Give me Matthew chapter 18. You got to read it.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 15.
Verse 15. Yup, read it.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
Go judge him, just you and him. Pull him to the side. Hey, bro, this the judgment I'm passing on you. I feel like you did this to me. I'm judging you in this matter. That's judging, right? Read.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
You gained your brother if he hear you, right? Read.
But if he will not hear thee, Then take him thee one or two more.
Then take with thee.
Then take with thee one or two more.
Go get you a couple more witnesses, right? Read.
That in the mouth of two or three witnesses, every word may be established.
So now you got witnesses, right? Okay. That you trying to do the right thing when you passing this judgment, right? Read.
And if he shall neglect to hear them,
He don't want to hear them, right? Read.
tell it unto the church.
Let the church know. Hey, church, I got a problem. I'm passing judgment on him. I'm saying this is what he did wrong. You know, I'm rebuking it. We went off into the different meanings of judging. You know, I'm calling this out. I'm judging this matter, right? I'm judging this small matter, right? Read.
But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as an heathen man and a publican.
So now the congregation is going to judge him. He's a heathen. That's like that's like being part of another nation. You a heathen now. You a heathen now unto us. You a publican. Be gone. We ain't dealing with you no more. That's righteous judgment. Why? We listen, we judge. So you supposed to pull him to the side. Hey, bro, you did this. Hey, sis, you did this. All right. He don't want to admit that he did that. Y'all can't work it out. You understand? You supposed to go get witness and say, hey, man, you did this. We got proof. I got proof. I got receipts. He still don't want to work it out. Hey, you got to go. That's called judgment. Okay? We're going to get a couple more. John chapter 8, verse 1. You got to read it.
John chapter 8, verse 1. Jesus went into the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple.
Read.
And all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them.
Read.
And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman tooketh in adultery.
Taken in adultery. Right? Everybody should know this story, right? Read.
And when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken into adultery.
In adultery. Read.
In the very act.
They caught her in the very act. Right? Read.
Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou?
But what sayest thou? She should be stoned for what she did. We need to pass condemnation on her right now. We want this woman condemned for what she did. Right? Read.
This they say, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground.
He wrote on the ground. What verse you on?
Verse 6.
Start from verse 6, the top again.
This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him.
Read.
But Jesus stooped down and with his finger wrote on the ground.
Read.
As though he heard them not.
As he wasn't even paying attention to him, right? Read.
So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her.
Hey, throw a stone if you ain't got no sin. So, if you ain't got no sin, cast that stone. If you full of sin, you a hypocrite. You judging as a hypocrite. You got to get the motes out your own eye. You want to condemn this woman, but you full of sin. Right? It's going back into that. You got to make sure you right. Examine yourself before you get to point fingers at people. You got to judge righteous judgment. Couldn't one of them throw that stone because Christ knew that they was full of sin. So you got to make sure you right before you get to pointing the fingers at each other. Right? Or want to cast a stone and condemn. Continue.
And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. And they which heard it being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last.
Read.
And Jesus was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst.
Read.
When Jesus had lifted up himself and saw none but the woman, he said unto her, Woman, where are those thine accusers?
Read.
Hath no man condemned thee?
No man condemned thee. Condemned thee. Condemned thee. Right? They passed the judgment, which they was right on the judgment. But couldn't no man condemn her. The judgment was right. She was caught in the very act. And back then, that was a death sentence. So they did pass the judgment. It was right, but they couldn't have her condemned. Right? Read.
She said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more.
Go and sin no more. Right? I'm going to show some mercy on you, but don't do this again. Right? Don't do this again. We listen, we judge. We ain't got no power to condemn. All right? We're going to pull one more. We right at that hour mark too. Right? Give me 1 Corinthians 2:15. I'll probably come back and visit this and make this a part 2. Right? 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 15. You got it. Read it.
1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 15. But he that is spiritual judges all things.
No, some things.
Judges all things.
Judges all things. If you spiritual, that means you keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. You're not judging as a hypocrite. Right? You're not just judging outwardly. Right? You judging the spirit. You understand? Read.
Yet he himself is judge of no man.
Can't nobody judge you. You know why? Because you're not dealing in no wickedness. So we listen, we judge. Right? Don't let nobody tell you different. You understand? So, I hope this video was edifying. I hope it strengthened your walk. Okay? Now, don't be going out there just judging people. Right? But you want to pull your sister or brother to the side and correct them, get them that righteous judgment and say, hey, according to the Lord, thus says the Lord, you're not supposed to be doing this. You know, you need to repent and get yourself together. You understand? All right. So I hope this video was edifying and strengthened your walk. Right? And keep pushing. Stay prayed up. All right. Love y'all, Israel. Shalom.
With exhortation, gotta be patient. Yeah, it's time to free the nation, gotta stop hating. This the end of the world, about to leave it vacant. Better hurry up and pick a side, yeah, I wish I say, hey, just let me exhort you. Hey, just let me exhort you. Yeah, I'm here to exhort, make you put out that new port. I can remember back then we caught the short. Now we teaching indoor, teaching outside indoors, teaching on dry lands, teaching out on the shores. Do whatever we can, keep our brothers out of court. Teach it in the dirty south, and we teach it up north, then we teach it out west, even the east coast shores. You gotta bring that fire, dealing with them Brooklyn boys. Take it to the south of the border, dealing with them Ricans. We gotta bring it out, can hardly tell what they speaking. You the northern kingdom, Israel named you Ephraim. So stop sniffing cocaine and sinking drunk off Seagrams. Gotta be patient. Yeah, it's time to free the nation. Gotta stop hating. This the end of the world, about to leave it vacant. Better hurry up and pick a side. Yeah, I wish I say, hey, just let me